Hello and welcome to the Breaking Free podcast. I'm your host, Nathan Francis, and today I'm very grateful to bring you my first solo podcast. It's taken me a while to get here. It's been an interesting ride the last few years, and I was never really a person that ever saw themselves doing something like this. So to be able to just sit here with a microphone and just speak, I'm very grateful and very humbled to be able to bring you this information and bringing this podcast. I thank everyone that's tuned in so far. I thank all of you so much. I didn't think it would take off as fast as it would, but it has. So obviously, my guests and my work's resonating with you all, and to the people that have listened to every episode. I thank you so much as well, and to the ones that have dropped a like, dropped a comment, dropped a share. I really do appreciate it. So yeah, it's quite humbling to know that this work's reaching so many people now, and that my message is really resonating. Not just my message, but my guests as well. So today's theme, I guess we can call today's theme forgiveness. I believe forgiveness is the key to your own happiness. That's the lyrics to an awesome song by Savage Garden, which is called Affirmation. For those out there that like their music, that's an interesting, very powerful song to listen to. So I guess for me, the last few weeks, I've really walked that path of forgiveness. And I thank Jane Rhoda, who was on my podcast a couple of, probably about 3 or 4 episodes ago. I did a session with her and she really helped me understand that it was time for me to start forgiving others, but also forgiving myself as well for allowing these things to happen that have happened during the course of my life. So I guess the path of forgiveness for me, I just sat down myself and I breathed in through my nose and out through my mouth 4 or 5 times and just relaxed and sat there, and I just started writing letters. I started writing letters to people that were in my life, that are still in my life, that I saw in a light that was negative, or it was, I guess it was a negative light. So I saw them as negative people, or we had falling out, or those sort of things. I just sat myself and I wrote. I put myself in their shoes and understood how I was from their perspective as well, and that's a really powerful thing to do. I understood the way I was and how it was making them feel, all the things I would say, things I would do. It's a really powerful tool, real powerful exercise, this one. So I just wrote a letter. I had in there the way I made them feel, and in there the way they made me feel, and I really emphasized that I forgave them, and I thanked them for the lessons. I thanked them for the journey, and it was a really powerful little exercise. I also showed gratitude and appreciation for the things that they showed me. So there was obviously the good, the bad, and the ugly with it. So that's sort of the way I structured. You could say, if you want some free advice on the way, if you are feeling a pull to forgive yourself or forgive some people, or just forgive, feel free to email me, and I can I can just email you how I set it out, what I did, and you can go away and do it yourself too. So I wrote 10 or 12 letters. I gave it to a few people. I didn't give all of them away. I gave it to ones that I felt that were ready to read it, or understand sort of like where I was coming from in terms of our old relationship. So yeah, I handed a few out. I kept a few, but I did delete them off my laptop, and I did burn them as well. You don't want that energy staying where it is. You kind of want to get rid of it. So the best way to do that is, if you handwrite it, burn it. If you type it, print it, and then delete it so that energy's not there anymore. So after that, I guess it was a really powerful process. A lot of tears shed. Really seeing myself in a whole new light, but also seeing those people in a whole new light as well. Sort of, it's changed my relationship with some of these people, and it's been quite an incredible process and quite an incredible journey with that, just to see not only the change in myself, but the change in them, and how I view them. Changing our perspective is such a powerful thing. So, and I really want to re-emphasize that when you walk that path of forgiveness, you see yourself and you see others in a whole new light that you didn't see before. So if you were seeing them negatively, they were this hateful, spiteful, resentful, they were toxic, you could say, or they were doing these things to you that made you feel triggered or made you feel angry, sad, frustrated, all those feelings as well. But if you are able to let those go and change your perspective and see them in a whole new light, it literally, the relationship you have with those people changes. And it's been evident in my life as well. And I can share more about that on another podcast, but it is really a powerful thing. And a lot of us are holding on to this, and there are emotions and feelings there that we've held on to for so long, but they're so ready to come out. And I believe that forgiveness really is the key to your unhappiness. I don't even have any words to be able to describe the feeling inside once those emotions were shed. But I will tell you a quick funny story. So last Saturday, my brother, well, the night before, my brother had some food poisoning, and it was a lot deeper than that. He was walking this path too, and a friend of ours gave him some advice on how to remove the rest of the emotions, because once you write these letters, the emotions and that are still there. You haven't quite officially let them all go. You may let them go physically and emotionally, but there's a spiritual component too. You need to let these go spiritually. So the exercise that my brother was given, I was listening to it as well. Didn't even resonate with me at all. It did resonate, but I didn't think that I needed to do something like that. It was sort of his stuff. But then last Saturday, I had some real pain in my stomach, and I hadn't had cramps like this for such a long time. Because when you take care of yourself and you believe that you're worthy and that you're enough, you eat good food, you drink plenty of water, and you do healthy habits. So I've gotten myself to a point where I felt I was, well, I still am quite healthy and quite strong within myself. And once I had this pain, I was like, oh, this is a bit different. This is not obviously physical. This is something spiritual, something maybe even emotional as well. So last Saturday night, I found myself with the shits. I had a bit of diarrhea. I was on the toilet. I had it coming out both ends. I was spewing and shitting, and I was just in so much pain. And my brother said, why don't you do what I did? Do that activity where you imagine those people you've written a letter to, and then whoever else comes through as well. It will surprise you. You may find yourself writing letters to, I don't know, 10, 12 people, maybe less, maybe more, depending on what's on what's there. I found myself laying in bed. I just relaxed, calm my nervous system, calm my body down. I was in pain, but I was able to calm everything down and imagine a room, and those people were there, and there were actually a few more people that I hadn't written letters to yet that came through as well. And that was my week this week, writing letters to those people that came through. So what I did was I imagined them in a room. I looked them in the eye and I said, I thank you. I'm sorry. I love you. And then I watched them turn around and I watched them walk into like the light, watched them walk away until I couldn't see them again. It's quite an interesting process, because I really felt it, and I felt those emotions leave. So there was a couple there I felt I was getting quite emotional with. And for men out there, it is okay to cry. We can cry. It is safe to cry. So found myself just a couple of tears, and then, yeah, I thank you. I'm sorry. I love you. I did that 10, 12 times. 10, 12 people came through. And it was quite a powerful shift, quite a powerful process. But then I was straight into it, straight on the dunny. I was back to the toilet, had it all coming out of my nose, my mouth, my bum. And once that was done, and there was just the rest of those emotions and the rest of those feelings that were deep inside. And to be able to release and shed those was like a weight off my shoulders. So it was just the most powerful thing. And I woke up last Sunday morning and I just had the hangover symptoms from what I just shedded, and I was feeling okay. So I was able to still go about my day and do those things. Like, yeah, sometimes we get the stomach bugs, but there's always something deeper going on, and it's always the emotions. It's the same thing with cancer, and the same thing with everything. There's deep-seated, rooted emotions attached to every illness, ailment that you have. You don't just have a sore shoulder because you have a sore shoulder. There's a reason for it. There's a reason for everything. And I'm about to go off on a tangent here, so we'll just go with it. Pain's the best teacher. Pain will teach you something about yourself that you may not even know. But at a soul level, at a spiritual level, you do know why you're in pain. You might be in pain because you're stuck with someone you've been stuck with for 30, 40 years, and it's just worn out. The marriage or the love or whatever it is, it's just worn out. And you're in pain, you're hanging on to it. It's quite hard. Yes, pain is hard, but it's supposed to be hard. But once you release that pain and release those emotions, you feel so much better within yourself. You feel more worthy. You feel enough. You feel like you can do things for yourself. You start taking control of your own life again. And to be able to release myself of my own pain as well was quite a tough process. Everything is a tough process, but once you're out the other side and you see that the other side's there, you just keep going. You know, this work requires resilience, discipline, patience, and really asking yourself those deep-rooted, seated questions. Why are you the way you are? Why do you do the things you do? I asked myself those questions and I was able to turn my life around. I quit the junk food. I quit the alcohol. I quit the porn by asking those questions. Why am I the way I am? Why do I do the things I do? And you can change. And sometimes taking that first step, taking that passage, that path will rid you of some pain. You may be having a sore shoulder because quite often people have sore shoulders because they're carrying the weight of the world. And quite often you carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. Release that. Let that go. Why are you carrying the burden of your family? Why are you carrying the burden of whatever it is, your job or whatever it is? Quite often people in pain because they work a job they don't like. Well, quit that job. There's something better out there. But people, we're all so attached and we're so, like the school system's made you so focused and so dependent upon it that if you quit your job, you're lost. You don't know what you're doing. Quite often we all had dreams as children. You can chase those dreams still. It doesn't matter how old you are. You can go and be the writer that you wanted to be when you were 6 years old, you know, just as an example. People, yeah, the pain teacher though, it's the most beautiful thing. Sit with yourself, ask yourself the questions, rid yourself of your self-sabotage habits, stop watching the porn, stop gambling, stop smoking, stop drinking, stop doing those things that make you feel shit and do things that make you feel good. Because you are worthy and you are enough. Really feel that. You are worthy. You are enough. Such powerful things. Say it to yourself. It's like the subconscious mind, you know, if you're watching this on YouTube, the subconscious mind we've got this piece of paper here. It records information that something like 20 million pieces of information a second. So can you imagine your whole life? It's recorded everything from when you exit the womb until this very moment, until you're here listening or watching this. So when you change your programs, and I can help you with that too. If you want to reach out, please do email me, nathanselfsabotage@gmail.com. When you go about reprogramming yourself, you've got to understand that this takes time. There's no guru, coach, energy healer. There's no doctor, dentist, nurse that's going to be able to do these things with you. I can give you the advice and the reprogramming stuff, but this work requires discipline, patience, and resilience. You may see changes happen overnight, but they may be subtle. They won't be big changes. But as you keep going and as you keep persisting and keep going with this work, the changes do start happening, but it takes time. It takes time. You may have some skin issues, or you may have some other ailments. This work can rid you of those. It's called self-healing, the power of breath, but it's not going to happen overnight. You need to feel it, understand it, and understand why it's there, because it's teaching you something. The pain, the ailment, the illness, it's not just there by chance. It's there to teach you something. Our bodies, when we're in the fight, flight, or freeze mode, our bodies go into defensive mechanisms to help keep us safe. And that's what your physical ailments and illnesses are. So ask yourself those deep questions and start implementing those changes. And if you're stuck, if you're lost, if you're broke, if you're lonely, if you're addicted, reach out to me anytime. I have a Zoom seminar that I can send straight to you, plus some goodies like meditations, hypnosis, recipes, affirmations. There's stuff there that you watch the seminar, and then I've sent you out some awesome goodies that can help start you off on this awesome journey. You can book me one-on-one sessions. I have them free. I'm available. So there's that as well. Or there's a free Zoom consultation where we can have a conversation just like this. You can tell me your ailments, tell me what's going on, give you some free advice to start going away and being awesome. There's help out there. There's plenty of sabotage coaches. There's me. There's thousands of others. Pick one that resonates. Hopefully I do, and I look forward to working with you soon. But just, if you're listening to this, just take time out for yourself to relax and breathe. And just be grateful that the universe has your back and it's always looking out for you. Be grateful for some things in your life that are positive. Find some positives, and then rid yourself of the negatives. Yeah, that was an epic tangent. Forgiveness, sabotage habits. We've covered it all. I kind of wanted to keep it short and sweet and to the point. I didn't want to bore anyone. So if you are stuck, if you are lonely, please reach out. My stuff's down the bottom. Please reach out. All the information's there. Let's leave this planet a better place than when we found it, but also let's rid ourselves of our own darkness so then we can help Mother Earth cleanse the earth of its own darkness. Quite often we say we want the truth out there. When the truth comes out, it will set us free. Well, that couldn't be more true. But the truth has to come out within ourselves first. We have to look at ourselves and be honest with ourselves and going deep to understand why we do the things we do. Because the truth won't come out in the world unless the truth comes out within ourselves first. Otherwise, this cycle will just keep repeating itself. The truth is not going to come out unless the truth comes out within ourselves first. Our darkness, our secrets, our behaviors, what makes us in a negative vibration can help lift us out into a positive vibration. That's where I come in. I can reprogram you. The same program tricks they use in the TV, in the movies, in the radio, in the newspaper, in everything. I can do that too, but to help you live your best life and help rid you of the darkness that you have inside. It's time for you to step out into your true power and be your most authentic self. And that has a ripple effect on the earth. Why? Because that will then help shift the darkness that's currently here as well. The darkness that is currently here on earth is the darkness within ourselves. We rid ourselves of our own darkness, creates the ripple effect, the truth will come out, and the heaven on earth will be here. Secrets, lies, deceits, affairs, all of it. That's the darkness that currently exists here. That's the evil, because it's the evil within us. And the evil within us needs to be shedded now. It's time for all the truths within us to come out, for the truths of the world to come out. If you're listening and you're holding on to stuff, it's time to release them now. And walk the path of forgiveness as well. You can forgive yourself for why you did those things. You can forgive yourself for the darkness that you carried around. You don't need to carry it around anymore. Cry it out, shit it out, spew it out, whatever you need to do. Release the darkness. Release the darkness. For those out there that are truth seekers and truth warriors, are you truthful with yourself? Ponder that. You're all about the truths of the world coming out, but are you truthful with yourself? Are you honest with yourself? Do you still do those things that keep the system going? The alcohol, the porn, the junk food. Who owns them? That same system that you're fighting. They own the alcohol. They own the coffee. They own the junk food. If you really want to defeat the system, rid yourself of it. Rid yourself of the system. That's the most powerful thing you can do. If there's one thing you can take away from this podcast chat today, you can't fight the system if the system is inside of you. We all came here to leave this planet better than we found it. Ponder this. I don't believe any of us have left this planet a better place than when we found it. It's time to change ourselves to change the world. I'm Nathan Francis from teenageselfsabotage.com. This is the Breaking Free podcast. Thank you for listening. Enjoy your weekend. Just enjoy your life. Walk outside, deep breathe, show gratitude, and just enjoy the life God gave you. God, source, creation, whoever, whatever you believe, enjoy the life that you've been given. You have a mouth that same light, source, creation, God, whoever gave you, fill it with real, organic, whole food, and stop filling it with garbage, poison, and the system that we're all trying to fight. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I'll be back real soon with some awesome guests and some awesome people. Reach out anytime and I'll reprogram you for the success that you were born with, for the success that is your God-given right. Thank you for listening. We'll talk soon. Catch ya.